So Indigo said something is wrong with either netcoding or what they are trying to do is impossible. I'm sure which I guess I'm not sure which, but the server frame rate of 4 to 5 server frames ticks per second is too slow. Yes, and the issue is, first of all, their goal is 30, which is, come on, like no new games that are like competitive in any sense have a 30 tick rate. But whatever, doesn't matter. But the issue is the netcoding and all that is terrible. Even if you go into Arena Commander and do a 1v1 with a guy, you're still gonna see desync. On a server that spawned with a 30 tick rate, it just spawned for 2 of you. Still desync. Netcode equals bad. That's how it works. Honestly. And yes, 30 tick rate is not fine, dude. Donuts, it's just not fine, and I'll explain in a second. But so let me just finish this. I already talked about this, so I'm trying to have another approach because I feel like I'm going insane because every stream and every video I basically talk about the same issues with the game, and I feel like I'm going insane, honestly. But the issue with like the servers having like 4 FPS is because of the amount of stuff that is spawned around the verse on the same server. So it's gonna get better maybe with server meshing, but there's too many physical items, physicalized items that interact with each other, that the server needs to like calculate the physics. But then there's always going to be issues with those because the more you have them, the more items you have on the ground, boxes, cargo boxes, gurneys, and all that interact with each other or with the world, the more you have them, the lower the FPS rate is going to be, right? Or the tick rate is going to be. And then the lower the tick rate, it's like it's a game of dominoes, right? The lower the tick rate, the worse the physics is going to be. And like in between ticks, the physics is going to go super crazy. And then the next tick, the whole fucking server needs to, it's just amazing that it's still running, right? Because the server needs to calculate, okay, so what the fuck happened here? Why did the gurney fucking fly through 3 hangars? And then like went into the ground and killed like 4 people in between ticks, right? So that's not good. Let's like have it reset back. And it's always a struggle. And the more things you have on the servers, the worst is gonna be. And then they add PES, and like instead of like working and trying to fix the fucking netcode and tick rate and then adding PES, no, they just add fucking PES on top of it, which adds even more physicalized items in the world. Items, components, whatever, ship parts and all of that. So 30 tick rate is not fine, purely because, let me get a calculator out. So 30 ticks per second, right? So what's the SCM speed of most of the ships? Like, give me like the value for like most of the ships. It's like 200 to 300. Let's say it's 300. That's the SCM speed. That's the that's what's gonna be like the combat speed for most of the ships once we get master modes, right? So at 300 meters per second, if you have a tick rate of 30 ticks per second, how much of a desync is there going to be per tick? Or how many meters per second need to be like calculated per tick for a single person? That's the first issue. Secondly, how much is the guy that you're fighting going to be I'm gonna say dislocated. Like how much desync is there gonna be with the guy that you're trying to fight? Like at least 10 meters of him being there or here, because right, 300 divided by 30. What did I do? Okay, thank you, Bing. Jesus Christ. So calculator? I think I clicked on Cortana. Right? 10. So with 30 ticks per second, you're always going to have a desync, positional desync of 10 meters, which may not be that bad with FPS, because FPS movement is slow. Save your sanity, just pre-record the same explanation. You can click play on his stream since it happens every stream. Exactly. I should probably do that. What's up, Baba Fett? Boba Fett. So 30 millisecond server tick is server frame rate 33.3. Huh? Star Citizen has a server frame rate of 4. So 30 milliseconds is like milliseconds have nothing to do with tick rates. But yeah, server frame rate right now is 4 because the game is fucking broken. Because the code is Jesus Christ. 10 meters can be predicted just like in an FPS game. Yes and no. We still don't know because we don't know how powerful the thrusters are going to be once we get master modes. If master modes are going to be the final product, because we don't know. Maybe they're going to change it again. Doesn't matter. For this, what matters is that like ship combat is always going to be desyncy at least 10 meters, right? Positional desync is always going to be 10 meters, which is going to like completely fuck up your hit registration and all of that. And like the prediction is not what the server sees and all of that. Like most games have those issues, but with most games, the characters like FPS games, so it's not going to be that bad for FPS. But if you look at Valorant has a tick rate of 128, right? 128 ticks per second. Small map. It's just characters moving around. Why is that important? Because it is. And they have, what is it called? Like ticks in between ticks, just like Overwatch does. So you don't get fucked by the tick rate, basically. Even like Counter-Strike, like 1.3, 1.6, I forgot the one that we played back in the day. It had like a tick rate of 32. The next Counter-Strike CSGO, it had a tick rate of 64.